Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Brief.
The heat is dialing up. Palestinian intelligence forces are reportedly being deployed in at least 2 West Bank cities, ordered to hide many of their files, as the Palestinian Authority prepares for possible violence if Israel moves to unilaterally expand its sovereignty over parts of Judea and Samaria. An eerie foreshadowing. Before the second Intifada outbreak in 2000, a similar step by the PA was taken.
Our immediate target is not to allow Israel to annex.
This as Germany's foreign minister lands in Tel Aviv today, expected to hammer home his country's unshakable commitment to Israel's security. But on the other hand, its vehement opposition to the intended unilateral expansion move. A position Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh hopes will cause Israel to retreat.
What we hope is that really Israel should feel the heat of international pressure.
Signs of the sensitive security impact brewing further. The brief Israel visit by Heiko Maas will be followed by a visit to Jordan, an important partner for Israel in maintaining regional peace, where Defence Minister Benny Gantz is expected to make his first foreign visit as Defence Minister. Gantz, for his part, warning Israeli settler leaders against getting too greedy ahead of the July 1 vote. Meeting at the IDF headquarters in Judea and Samaria, Gantz is quoted as saying, "Take what's being offered to you. As for the rest, deal with it later." And what will be given? Well, top Israeli officials saying Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will initially announce annexation of 3 largely populated blocks, Ma'ale Adumim, Ariel and Gush Etzion, but not the Jordan Valley. It's time to face the music. Security teams enforcing coronavirus restrictions closing this Tel Aviv busking performance down, just as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu orders top government officials to step up enforcement of social distancing rules. As a new coronavirus outbreak gains steam across Israel, Health Minister Yuli Edelstein saying to prevent a second nationwide lockdown, social distancing rules should be as strict as the enforcement of traffic laws.
מי שהולך בלי מסכה, לא שומר מרחק, לא שומר על היגיינה בסיסית, משל היה נוסע כ-160 קמ"ש בשטח עירוני.
The number of active cases that had dipped below 2,000 last month has since surged beyond 2,700. After another fatality overnight, the death toll now sits at 299, with close to 150 new infections in 24 hours. Regardless, the Shin Bet cell phone and credit card tracking program has come to an end after a 3-month mission to follow the movement of coronavirus cases. And despite infection cases rising, it's not stopping Americans from making Aliyah, the immigration to Israel under the right of return. More than 50 new immigrants from the US landing in the Holy Land Tuesday and will now enter into 2 weeks quarantine. This as for the second time ever, an Etihad Airlines flight has landed in Israel from Abu Dhabi, carrying another shipment of medical supplies to help the Palestinians cope with coronavirus. The Israeli Foreign Ministry helping to coordinate the flight. The aid will be transferred by the United Nations to Gaza and the West Bank. Now brandished on the West Bank separation wall, the plea of George Floyd, killed by police in the United States, "I can't breathe." Palestinian artist Taki Spatin painting a mural on the wall in Bethlehem, as Israeli police push back against claims made on the UK website Morning Star that Israel trained the cops charged with Floyd's death.
The BDS movement is continuing to distort facts about Israel and the Israeli National Police. There is no connection whatsoever between the Israeli National Police and the American police officers who were involved in the tragic George Floyd incident that took place in the United States.
This after 6 people were detained after trying to block the path of a light rail through Jerusalem during protests over the police killing of an autistic East Jerusalem man, Iyad Halak, last month. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this week calling Halak's killing a tragedy, and Defence Minister Benny Gantz publicly apologised for his death.
That's all for now, but for more news from Israel, remember to like ILTV on Facebook and on Instagram, and to subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.